What's up everyone? As you may have realized, I haven't yet uploaded week 5 of POCL. This is because it hasn't even happened. This week was pretty much just the mid-season signups and auctions, and next week is going to be starting this Monday, so I just wanted to make sure you all knew about that, and if you didn't, well, now you do. Anyways, to make up for that, I got a nice black and white OU Smogon Tour battle against Danilo. This is either round 4 or 5, I do not recall, but I'm going to be using a team given to me by my boy PDC. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this team was made by Dragon User and revamped by Soch King. Taking a look at the team, I've got a Choice Scarf Tyranitar, a Landorus T to set up some Stealth Rocks, a Swords Dance Garchomp, Calm Mind Jirachi with a Psychic, Hidden Power Fire, and Grass Knot, and a nice and powerful Choice Specs Kingdra and Latios to punch some holes in teams. And if you turn your attention to Danilo's team, we see some bulky looking team that's kind of annoying, I guess, with the Gastrodon and the Fortress and Heatran and Reuniclus and stuff like that. But anyways, without further ado, let's get this show on a roll. And I'm going to be leading off with my Landorus. He's going to be leading off with his Reuniclus right here. Now, somehow I know he's a Trick Flame Orb set, so I'm going to go for the U-turn and go into my T-Tar, which is a Choice Scarf set right here. So he's going to be tricking and getting that Choice Scarf. Not too good for him. Now, I'm burned, so that's kind of bad, but he's locked in on a Choice Scarf. So predicting that he wants to go for Trick again, I'm going to go into my Landorus here, as he ends up going into his Fortress. So I'm going to go for the U-turn. Pull a switch into my Kingdra to pressure him offensively. He goes for the Toxic Spikes right here. Now, predicting that he's going to expect the Hydro Pump, I'm going to go for the Draco Meteor right here, and I'm going to be able to hit his Reuniclus for some good damage, and it's able to knock it out. I guess he was probably planning on sacking it or something. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't too useful. But anyways, I'm going to switch out here as he goes for the Pursuit, predicting that nicely. I'm going to go into my Tyranitar, and pretty much Tyranitar is useless. I'm using it as sackings, but I'm going to double switch as he brings in Heatran into my Kingdra, and I'm going to be able to get off another Draco Meteor here, but I predict that he's going to go into his Gastrodon, but he ends up going into his Fortress. And so Fortress does, I mean, it takes a pretty decent chunk of damage, but looking by how it does less than half from a Choice Specs Draco Meteor, it probably is specially defensive Fortress. So I just end up having to sack my Kingdra. As he gets up another Toxic Spikes, then I go into my Landorus T right here. He's going to switch out into his Gastrodon. I go for the Earthquake. Now, of course, I can't stay in on the Gastrodon, so I'm going to go for the U-turn right here, back into my Tyranitar, which is just sacking material at this point. He's going to go for the Scald, and what I'm going to do right now is pretty much just try and get as much damage as I can on any of his Pokemon. I'm just going to spam Crunch. He's going to go for the Recover right here. I'm going to go for the Ice Beam on the next turn, just, you know, fiddling around with my moves right here, because Tyranitar is just, I'm just planning on sacking it. I'm really not trying to do anything fancy with it. He's going to go into his Heatran. He's going to be able to get up some rocks right here. And I'm going to go for the Superpower. It does a decent-ish amount of damage while I am burned. So that's alright, I guess. But pretty much on this next turn, he's going to be able to go for a Flamethrower and knock me out. And what I can do now is I can pressure him out by bringing in my Landorus. He's going to be forced to switch out while I go for my Stealth Rocks here. He's going to go into his Gastrodon. And what I'm going to do now, of course I can't stay in, so I'm going to be going for the U-turn and going into the safest switch that I have, which is my Latios, excuse me. And he's going to go for the Scald right here. He's going to get an unfortunate burn for me, so that's not really that good. But I'm going to go for a Draco Meteor here. If I go for Psyshock, I don't want to get locked in on T-Tar, get pursued. And if I go for Surf, I didn't want him to like recover and see how much damage I do or something. And yeah, so I just go for Draco Meteor, which is I guess my safest play. He's going to go into his Tyranitar right here and go for the Ice Beam, predicting, I guess, predicting probably the Landorus T. So, anyways, I bring in Jirachi here. Gonna make a double switch into my Garchomp right here as he brings in Heatran, which was a good prediction on my part. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm not gonna set up or anything. I know he has a Choice Scarf T-Tar, which can revenge kill my Garchomp. I'm just gonna go for the Earthquake right here. It's gonna be able to knock out that Gastrodon in 2 hits, which is really good for me. And I'm able to knock that out, and he's going to bring in his Dragonite here, probably testing to see if I'm Choice Scarf or not. And, I mean, I go for the Outrage right here, and I'm able to knock out the Dragonite, but I'm still locked in, so he's going to be able to bring in T-Tar and go for the Ice Beam and Revenge Kill. Either way, I mean, he was able to knock out my Garchomp in the end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in my Jirachi. Now, I'm just going to pause it here for a second, because this is where everything goes wrong. It's a 50-50 once again. Pretty much all those fancy double switches I did were all 50-50s, and this one is pretty much the biggest one of all, because here's what's gonna happen. Here's what can happen. I can either double switch right here into my Landorus, predicting Heatran coming in, but I also risk the fact that he has locked onto Ice Beam. So if he predicts that and goes for the Ice Beam, I lose. So it's a 50-50 in the sense that if I go for Grass Knot here, I'll be able to probably most likely take out that Tyranitar, I think. So well, watch what I end up doing. For a change, I end up winning the 50-50, He goes for the Ice Beam. I'm going for the Grass Knot, but I get frozen, which is really unfortunate for me. So now that just completely throws me off balance right here. So I have to, I just go into my Landorus, thinking that he might go into Heatran now, but he just stays in. So yeah, I mean, if I wasn't frozen, so pretty much the only thing I can do now is just set up Calm Minds. I'm able to take out his Heatran in the end by setting up a few Calm Minds. I thaw out. If I had just stayed in and gone for Calm Mind again, I would have thawed out. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I mean, a lot of things could have happened or should have happened. But anyways, I'm able to 2-hit KO that Heatran, which I'm about to do right now. So he gets the special defense drop right here. So I'm able to take out the Heatran, and he's going to just bring in his T-Tar and Revenge Kill with Crunch or something like that. Or Pursuit. I don't even know well, I forgot what he goes for. He probably goes for Crunch right here. Yeah. So pretty much that's the battle. And I mean, I'm happy I won the 50-50, but it was really unfortunate for the freeze. And I mean, even though I lost, it was a really good battle overall. I mean, it was full of mind games. A lot of really good plays on both of our parts, I guess. And I mean, the reason I'm posting this is because, even though I lost, is because it was a great game. It was a really good game, in my opinion. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really unfortunate. I mean, it could have gone differently. It really could have, but I'm not upset. I'm not disappointed. It was a good game nonetheless. And yeah, and that's pretty much all I got to say about it. That's pretty much all there is to say about it. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for week 5 of POCL coming up. And yeah, see you later, guys. Peace.